said you weren't good enough. They laughed when you said you had a dream. They rolled their eyes, called it impossible, told you to be realistic. They said people like you don't make it. Maybe it was a teacher. Maybe it was your own family. Maybe it was someone you loved. Or maybe it was society telling you to sit down, to be quiet, to stay in your lane. But something inside you, something deeper than words, refused to die. Something in your soul whispered, keep going. Even when you had no support, no map, no spotlight. Even when you were the only one who believed. You kept moving, step by step, inch by inch. And that decision, that stubborn refusal to quit, that's what makes you different. That's what separates the average from the unstoppable. Because anyone can believe when it's easy, but you believed when it hurt. You believed when it was dark. You believed when there were no guarantees. And that right there is the seed of greatness. Let them talk. Let them doubt. Their words are just echoes of their own fear. They couldn't do it, so they assume you can't either. They gave up on themselves, so they want you to give up too. Misery loves company. But you're not here to keep them company. You're here to break the pattern, to rise, to defy every label they put on you. And when they say, who do you think you are? You look them in the eye and say, I'm someone who refuses to be average. I'm someone who will prove you wrong. There's a certain power that comes from being doubted. It sharpens your focus. It hardens your resolve. It awakens a version of you that even you didn't know existed. A warrior, a builder, a survivor. Someone who doesn't flinch under pressure. Someone who doesn't fold when life gets hard. You see, pressure doesn't break diamonds. It creates them. And you, my friend, are becoming unbreakable. You don't need a spotlight. You don't need a round of applause. What you need is purpose. And the deeper your pain, the stronger your purpose. That rejection, that betrayal, that disappointment, it wasn't the end. It was the beginning. The universe was never punishing you. It was preparing you, strengthening you, teaching you who you really are. Because let's be honest, if they had believed in you, if they had supported you, maybe you wouldn't have worked this hard. Maybe you would have taken it easy. But the doubt, the disrespect, the silence, that lit a fire in you. And now you're unstoppable because you're not chasing success for attention. You're chasing it for redemption, for healing, for peace. You're not doing it to impress them. You're doing it to prove to yourself that you are never crazy for believing. And it's not about being better than anyone else. It's about being better than you were yesterday, better than the person who gave up, stronger than the voice that said, you're not enough. It's about rising from the ashes of your mistakes and saying, I'm still here. I'm not done yet. I still have more to give, because the truth is, you're not built like the rest. You don't give in, you don't fold, you turn pain into purpose, losses into lessons, and pressure into performance. Every time someone said no, you said watch me. Every time they walked away, you walked forward. Every time you hit the ground, you stood up, bruised but unbroken, because your spirit can't be defeated. Your will can't be stolen. Your fire can't be put out. And the more they doubted you, the more you grew. That's how it works. Trees grow deeper roots during storms. Muscles grow through resistance. And you? You grow every time life tries to break you and fails. They thought you were finished, but you were just getting started. They thought that was your rock bottom, but that was your launch pad. They thought they were writing your ending, but you picked up the pen and wrote a new beginning. And this chapter, this next chapter, it's where you rise. It's where you transform. It's where they finally realize that the person they counted out is the one they should have never doubted. The world is full of people who start, but how many finish? How many stay when it gets tough? How many keep showing up when no one claps, no one notices, no one cares? That's what separates the dreamers from the doers. Consistency, grit, endurance, the willingness to outlast everyone else, to stay standing after the storm, to keep building when no one understands your vision. That's who you are. And don't expect them to understand your hunger. They won't. They've never felt your fire. They didn't live through what you did. They don't know the nights you cried alone, the sacrifices you made in silence, the battles you fought behind the scenes. All they'll see is the result. And when they do, they'll call it luck. Let them. You'll know the truth. You'll know the blood, sweat, tears, and grit it took to get here. So don't stop now. Don't slow down. You've come too far. You've endured too much. The world needs to see what happens when someone refuses to give up. The world needs to see what happens when someone chooses discipline over comfort, purpose over popularity, and action over approval. This is your time. This is your story, and you don't need permission to write it. So turn your pain into purpose. Turn your doubters into fuel. And when it's all said and done, when the dust settles, when the spotlight finally finds you, don't say a word. Just smile. Because they'll know, deep down, they'll know you were the one they underestimated. You were the one they counted out, but you were also the one who made it. And that, right there, is how you prove them all wrong.